The Mighty Whites podcast is recorded at the Don Bennison Recording Studio in Allerton Bywater. For more information, visit donbennison.com or email info@donbennison.com.
Hi and welcome to episode 6 of the Mighty Whites podcast. I'm Jack, I'm joined by Connie.
Hello.
And we do not have KC live from Portland this time. He's serving a one-match podcast ban due to his incendiary comments over Michael fucking Brown. And he knows what he did and he needs time to think about it. And I'm sure that a day spent thinking about how much he hates Michael Brown won't only exacerbate the issue. But while we haven't got him, it makes it a lot easier for us to talk about Leeds 5, Burton 0.
Yep.
Fairly solid performance. Just decent, you know.
From start to finish, yeah, pretty much as we all expected, really. We all said we were going to win. Just from start to finish. People will say, yeah, it's Burton, you should be beating Burton, but when you put in a performance like that, you can only do that against whoever's in front of you.
Yeah, that first 60 minutes would have beat anyone.
Yeah, definitely.
We played some really good football. It was a pleasure to watch, really. I undersold it at the start, obviously, but it was so enjoyable.
Yeah, from just everything. I mean, even, I know we'll probably come on to it a few times throughout this podcast, but Lasoga, I know we all had varying opinions of him, but you know, you can't knock his start so far, you know. I mean, I know myself, I turned around and said I were a bit sceptical over a few things about him, but up to press, he's done business. So, yeah, it would be good to see another goal for Calvin Phillips as well. Hernandez and Roof getting in goals as well. So, yeah, it's still nice to see that we're getting goals from all over the park.
Yeah, and I thought Lasoga's first goal particularly was very good. Like the way he came off the front foot 1-2 with Ewan O'Kane. Yeah, I thought was a really good goal, and the finish as well. To be running at that pace, it's not easy because he had to kind of break his stride to get a good angle for left foot strike, and I thought that was a really good finish.
And for the size of him as well, he's a big lad. He's very much of the Chris Wood ilk. He's a big lad.
He seems a bit quicker though, doesn't he, than Wood?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Not as fit. But that'll come.
Yeah, with game time it'll come. And even his second way directed header back, that would have been a goal than he got credit for. I think from a directed back way he did it was quality finish.
Yeah, but you don't often get stats in a championship game like that. 30 shots to 1, 10-0 on target, 10-1 on corners.
Yeah.
I think it was the BBC's match report that said sometimes 5-0 flatters an opposition, but not this time. The only evidence Burton are even here is for the 8 fouls that they've committed.
Let's face it, and I mean, I don't want to sound disrespectful to anyone, but for Burton Albion to be in Championship, it's great for a team like Burton, it's great for the fans, it's great for football in general that teams like them, Yeovil have been there recently, it's good for teams like that to be there, but a team like ours who've got the targets in mind that they've set at start season, that if that's the case, then that's the sort of result we should be looking for against teams like Burton. No disrespect to them, but it is.
Yeah, it says a lot about Norwich's current form that they managed to not beat them.
Yeah.
But then the following... I should mention the predictions that we had for that game. We were both 3-0, KC 2-0, so we all get 2 points.
Yep.
And speaking of 2-0s, 2-0 against Birmingham. This was a lot tougher. Much more of a tough match, but I thought we did... It was the sort of game that there is no chance we'd have won last season.
No, not a chance. It'd have been a draw. Maybe even Birmingham might have nicked it. They're a good team. I know it sounds daft me saying that, given circumstances surrounding what's gone on there in days after this game. But they've made a lot of good signings, and when they gel, they're going to be a good team. I don't think they're in any immediate danger whatsoever. I think we made hard work of it for ourselves, especially in the first half. We were a little bit nervy, but end of the day, it's another win for us. It was another win, another clean sheet, and just again solid all round again. Yeah,
you say like a nervy start. The main example of that, I thought, we answered. who by end of game I thought were man at match. But the first 15 minutes, he played like 5 or 6 awful passes where he just missed the guy by 5 yards. And then he got one really good ball over the top that were like perfectly weighted. And after that, it just seemed to sort him out.
Yeah, it just seemed to click a bit. He's a bit like that though, isn't he, Janssen? Don't get me wrong, I'm taking naught away from the man. I think he's brilliant. But he does have his moments. It goes without saying, with best will in the world, if he didn't have his moments like that, he wouldn't be playing for Leeds United in Championship, as good as he is.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, size in first half from that was another one. The Lasogga strike before Sizer's goal was a great hit, but the ball over the top, the like half volley straight from the front from O'Kane was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But Size showing the instincts of a player in form, following in, being first one to react. And then the goal at the... To be honest, more important than the goal at the end from Dallas, which we'll come on to, was Ayling's clearance at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
I was in the Cops, it was right in front of me. Yeah. And I mean, that ball, that was in. It was in as far as I was concerned. I was amazed when he got back and cleared it.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's why he's, for my money, best fullback in division.
Yeah. I've said it myself about Luke Ayling. I can't sing his praises highly enough. Out of the season and a bit now that he's been with us, I think I can honestly say I've seen him have 2 games. Well, he's not been dreadful, but he's not been up to the high standards that he normally sets.
Maybe 3 after the last game we'll talk about.
Yeah.
But it was sort of 1 in, 1 out injury-wise. Berardi returned from injury, but only because Liam Cooper got injured.
Yeah, it's a shame. Berardi's, again, I think we've all said, Berardi's proved a lot of people wrong. I think I'm right in saying the last of the Chelino old guard. Am I right in saying that?
Is there anyone else who he signed? Anyone from the original crop of signings left?
I don't think there is, I think it were him.
No, there was Dakara and Silvestri, but they've both gone.
Belushi, they've all gone.
Yeah, I think he's the only one left.
So
if we're wrong, then tell us on Twitter. Yeah. It really doesn't bother us. I mean, I'll mention it now before we play Burnley, but you all tweeted us telling us that the player that we couldn't remember who was compared to Luke Varney on FM so we didn't sign was Ashley Barnes. And you were right, it was Ashley Barnes.
But yeah, getting back to injury problem, I mean, it's great to have Berardi back, but to be losing Liam Cooper with form he's been in, obviously it's a bit of a blow, but I'm sure they'll carry on. We've had people filling in that have been doing a good job. Connor Shaughnessy's come in and done a good job. Obviously Pennington's still some way off, but
it does sound like he should be back. Maybe not for the cup game on Tuesday, but for the Ipswich game on Saturday, it sounds like he'll be available.
Oh, well, that's good to hear, because obviously, again, he's got good pedigree. It's good to see. It's good to have him. But I mean, if worst case scenario, we have got Ayling that can play at centre half, and we could put Berardi at right back if it came to it. So I mean, there is options in there. It's just obviously you soon have Cooper available.
Well, that was his 6th league clean sheet in a row, which we all thought was too good to be true. And as KC said on the last podcast, what can go wrong? Millwall, that's what can go wrong.
Yep.
And boy, was he right. You know what it's like in the Championship. We were due a bad performance, and this was, make no mistake, this was a bad performance. We just didn't show up.
Nope, not at all. And as you've said, take nothing away from it, Millwall deserved to win that game, I'd say. Just about, but they did.
I wouldn't say just. I think we were lucky to come away with a 1-goal defeat. Yeah. But I mean, it's like we've said though with this league, we'll probably play as bad, if not worse than that, and scrape a win at some stage along the line. We probably will do at some point, but there'll be a game where we play like we did against Burton and don't win.
Well, yeah.
That's just what it's like.
But it's... I mean, you can argue, Millwall's goal were offside. Yeah. I know me and you were talking not long before we started this. We both thought Morrison's was on. So it levels out, really. Yeah,
but this one, the first fixture of the season where we all get no points prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had 0-0, you had 1-0, Casey had a 2-0 win. For Birmingham game, we all got 2 points. We all had us to win, but we all had wrong score.
Yep.
But the main issue with the Millwall game, particularly following Cooper's injury, finishing with 10 men, Janssen going off with what looked like a hamstring injury. As of yet, there hasn't been any real confirmed news about it. As of recording, because we're recording it the night after the game, this Sunday night. So
I'm just kind of going along the lines of no news is good news at the moment. I think if it were anything major, we'd have found out by now. Obviously, injuries like that goes without saying they're never good, but you just hope it's a twinge more than a pull or a tear or, God forbid, out like that. Just have to play it by ear. If that is the case, then I won't play him against Burnley.
Against Burnley, I mean, we'll come on to it more when we'll talk about the side that will play against Burnley more when we actually preview the games later on.
Yeah.
But I'm not expecting us to treat this with any seriousness.
Nah.
The thing that sums up the Millwall game for me is I just said about the Burton game, 30 shots to 1 and stuff. Well, this game, Millwall had 20 shots, we had 1. We had 6 on target, we had none. 14 corners to 2. But that's, I suppose, the difference in quality between Leeds and Burton. Leeds playing badly and getting hammered, got beat 1-0. Burton playing badly, but not as badly as we did against a decent team. It's a 5-0.
Yeah. And I think it says a lot about our defence as well. And Wiedwald in goal.
Wiedwald, his distribution was the worst I've seen it in this game.
Yeah.
But he made a lot more saves than he's ever had to, and he did them well. Though no, he could have done a better goal either. So
no, that's what I mean. I mean, when you look at them stats there for Millwall in an attacking sense, it's, for them to get beat by one of them, you can't really argue at that, really, can you? It's a shame it had to come to an end, but it would always going to at some point in this league. It would, but as long as they take away positives from it, then I'm sure Christiansen got them in after the game, and they've gone over it, where they've gone wrong, what they could have done better. So we'll crack on, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, with him saying that the way he got the job was his attention to detail and looking at every player, I'm sure after a defeat he's like that as well. You
would have thought so, wouldn't you? You could just picture him as the sort that'd have them all in and watch game through and analyse it. You can just see he's that sort of bloke, which I don't think there's aught wrong with that.
The person who might benefit the most from the Millwall game is Cameron Borthwick-Jackson.
Yeah.
Because Anita, and don't get me wrong, their winger Wallace played really well.
Yeah.
But that's a couple of times where he's got done. And normally I would just think, well, that means Berardi's coming back in. But if Cooper and Janssen are out, Ayling will probably have to play centre-back.
Probably so, and then have
Berardi will have to play right-back, so Borthwick-Jackson might have to play left-back. Yeah. And the thing is with Borthwick-Jackson, I feel a bit sorry for him because he hadn't even getting in squad. And he played well when he was given a game.
He hadn't done
anything wrong. So. But again, it's another sign of how good a squad is this year, that there's good players not even making the squad, never mind the bench.
No.
We don't particularly want to talk too much about the Millwall game, but the main thing that comes out of all of it is that despite that defeat, we're Leeds United and we're top of the league.
We're going up as fucking champions.
Yeah. I haven't heard Leeds singing "We're going up as fucking champions" since we beat QPR 2-0.
Yep.
When Gradle scored twice and we were in Peacock.
Went second at Christmas.
Yeah.
Yep. And it all went wrong.
Yeah, it did. But it won't go wrong this season. I'm still supremely confident about this season. It's really nice to say. But after those games, screw us being top at league. The more important thing is our predictions league. Which, unfortunately, I'm still bottom of. Connie, 19 points, KC, 17, me, 16. I've every confidence in the world that I'll get past KC.
Yeah, let's think so.
I mean, KC, I can't lose to the wannabe Yank.
Let's face it, it's serving a one-match ban now. Yeah, we've spoke about him too much.
Yeah. Well, speaking about his ban, I mean, we played Birmingham, beat him. Harry Redknapp ended up getting sacked not long after. Early in the season, played Port Vale, beat him. And now Michael Brown has been sacked as manager of Port Vale.
Ha 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 ha.
Couldn't happen to a more deserving bloke.
No.
It really cheered me up after the terrible performance against Millwall to just go on Twitter and say Michael Brown and Port Vale have parted company.
I'd have probably been a little bit indifferent towards it all. Had he not made the comments about size when we played him in Cup, it just highlighted, you were a knobhead when you were a player and you've just carried it over into management. It just turns out you're crap at that as well. No one likes to see anyone lose the job, but
I disagree. I very much did want to see Michael Brown lose his job. Crawley next. Crawley.
It's the hope.
Yeah. I want to see him lose his job as well.
But as for Redknapp getting sacked, I know KC's got his own opinions on
KC hates him.
Personally, I think it's a bit harsh. Yeah, it's spent a lot of money and the side aren't gelled yet. That could have quite easily have been us. Now, Christiansen could have been out at door. We've seen it now with a few teams, seen it with Palace as well. It's just the short-termism in football. It's a little bit worrying. That someone's going to walk into that Birmingham dressing room and inherit what is, on the whole, a good squad. He's signed well. He spent his money, but you get what you pay for. The signings like Hotter in this league, the quality signings, and I felt a bit sorry for Redknapp, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we got a bit lucky with Hotter having to go off injured.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he was another one. I mean, he had whenever he ran at anyone, especially Anita, he was just doing him every time he went at him, and he did it to Cooper one of the times as well. He's a really good player, and even though we beat him 2-0, I thought Birmingham won at better sides we've played this season.
Definitely. I mean, they're down there at the moment, but like you've just said, when it were at 1-0, you always had that lingering doubt in the back of your mind that these lot could turn it up a notch if they wanted to. Luckily enough, we kind of cancelled it out, but I don't think, I said it before, I don't think they're in any trouble about Birmingham. I think once that clicks, they'll start climbing the table. I'm not saying they'll threaten the promotion places, maybe not this year, but there's the core of a good team there, and I just think it's a bit harsh on Redknapp, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, we were only safe once Dallas scored at end.
Yeah, definitely.
Which, by the way, we didn't really talk about it enough. That was a really good goal.
Yeah, what a good finish.
Yeah, just cutting inside, really good strike. He's having a great season.
He's doing what we all said in pre-season we wanted him to do, and as long as he's doing that, happy days. That's what he's capable of. That's the Stuart Dallas that we know when we signed him.
Yeah, it's one thing that surprised me about that Millwall game, actually, and it isn't hindsight. We said before the game, Millwall away is not a game for Pablo Hernandez on the wing.
Nah.
And I didn't think Alioski would play either. I put in because I did the player ratings for the Birmingham game on through it all together, and I put in one of the paragraphs, I said I thought the wingers for this game, if Lasogga's available, would be Roof and Dallas, because I thought we'd want to go in battling. Now, don't get me wrong, that wasn't why we got beat.
No,
we
not at all.
We got outplayed, but there's no doubt that Dallas did a better job than Hernandez did.
Yeah, and that's no detriment to
Hernandez. There wasn't really much between Roof and Alioski, to be honest. Neither one of them had a good game, but
the thing with Hernandez, it's like we've said before, again in pre-season, it's a no detriment here to Pablo Hernandez. He's just not that sort of player. And Millwall away, it highlighted it, didn't it? Now, he's been quality so far this season, it's Pablo Hernandez, but they're the sort of games, I think, that kind of proved right what we all said. He should have been left out. Not that he's done all wrong, it's just it was the wrong game, wrong time for him, that's all.
Yeah, but obviously, play this many games and you only get beat once.
Yeah.
We replicate that for the rest of the season and we get promoted.
Yeah.
So hopefully it keeps going. Normally we do news after the look back at the previous fixtures, but there's not really much news now that the transfer window's shut. But there's one deal that looks like it's going to happen in January because it's been reported everywhere. I'm assuming it's pronounced Yosuke Ideguchi.
Yeah.
I think it's Yosuke because the wrestler Shinsuke Nakamura is spelled S-U-K-E and it's Ske, not Suki.
Yes.
Because when Shinsuke Nakamura played for Celtic, the footballer, I called him Shinsuke Nakamura for years because I never heard a commentator say it different.
Yeah.
But I think it's Shinsuke. So I think it's Yosuke Ideguchi. But 21-year-old midfielder Gamba Osaka 3 caps, 1 goal for Japan. Really good goal against Australia.
Yeah.
Have you not seen the GIF?
I've not seen it,
The
no.
GIF was floating around Twitter after we got linked to him.
Oh, right, yeah.
Cuts inside onto his right foot from wing and just belts it top corner. It's a great finish. But it's sort of a deal that makes a lot of sense with what Leeds are trying to do. Getting in a big Asian player. Everyone who's seen a bit of him seems to rate him. I haven't. I'm not one of the people who's seen a bit of him. Other than that clip for the goal, I haven't seen anything. But it's the first player we've got from there. Like, before it even happened, Victor Orta had said they were close to signing a big surprise from Asia. And we've hired that, what's his name, the Japanese guy that's head of Asian recruitment for us.
I'm going to pronounce it Toshiya Fujita.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah?
Fujita, I can remember that's right. Yeah, but we brought him in because he was pictured in stand a couple of times, wasn't he, before we hired him?
Yeah.
Like, as far back as wasn't he there as far back as QPR away on opening day of last season?
I think so, yeah. He were kind of lurking behind scenes.
When everyone thought, we must be being bought by some Asian consortium because he's in the stand. But yeah, it'd be an interesting signing. From a footballing point of view, I can't really comment.
No,
because I don't know how good he is. But from a business point of view...
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we all know that Rajazani is big in that sort of area, and if for commercial reasons, it goes without saying, we've seen clubs do it all over world. You bring in a big Asian prospect or star, and they perform, it pays dividends for you.
Yeah.
We've seen it all over the world. You know, Man United signing Kagawa all them years ago.
He was a bit. At least he was a bit more proven. It's more a Junichi Inamoto type deal.
Yeah. Or Ryo Miyachi or Miyaichi.
Ryo Miyachi, Lee Tia.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, it's worth a punt. Why not? It's 21-year-old, so it's not like we're signing someone in twilight, is it? You know, if he comes in, young lad, give him a go, and if he's as good as as people make out, then yeah, we can go from there. But you know, I put faith in him now because
they've earned his trust.
Yeah, the signings that they've made, they've been thought through. There's some logic behind them, so you've got to back them. Yeah,
I'd be interested in coming in. Obviously, there hasn't been any real noise about how much the fee is or anything. For one thing that could be a problem, and it's one of the good things about having a cultural Leonessa.
Possibly,
he might well not get a work permit if he's only played 3 games.
Yeah,
because I think, if I remember rightly from like Football Manager, for countries roughly that tier of international football, they have to have played something like 50% of internationals for the last 2 years.
Yeah, in Japan play more games than...
Yeah, and he has only just broke into the side. So even if he plays every single game for him between now and January, he probably won't have hit that. No. Now, there are exemptions, you can appeal and stuff, and they might just go, okay. They'll probably say, is he going to start? And if he's going to start, they'll probably give him it, and if he's not, they'll probably say, nah, you can't have a work permit.
This is just what we're going to come on to then. We're talking about cultural Leonessa. Is he going to get in team? At this moment in time, no.
No,
but you don't know.
He isn't. The thing is, I can't really. I haven't seen him play.
No,
so I've no idea. Like, we've got so many options in midfield.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the cultural Leonessa thing could be possibly best option for him. It might be only option, as you've just said, but
especially if it's January. If they just signed him in January and sent him there till end of season.
Yeah, why not?
Just give him a bit of visiting football, see what it's like.
Yeah.
Not that I will. There's no other time to bring it up. From the things I've seen on Twitter, Oasim Boy is not getting very good reviews over in Leonessa. To the extent that I think they're playing today, and he isn't in the squad, and he's not injured.
Jesus.
So that isn't looking great so far, but it's very early to tell.
Yeah,
I mean, he must have something about him to get signed by Ajax and Juve.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it could be just him adapting to culture. There's a number of things it could be. Hopefully, it's not purely a footballing thing that it turns out to be, but time will tell.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see either way. Right, I'm going to break the fourth wall a bit on the podcast with regards to KC's absence, because I just got a message from him and it's really funny. Basically, the reason he's not on the podcast is because he coaches youth football in America, and he's had to go coach his team in a big game, and it's like 4.5 hours drive away. And it's so far away that he's gone the night before and stayed in a hotel the night before. Anyway, it's been called off 30 minutes before kick-off.
That's up there with Michael Brown getting sacked.
Yeah. So he's driven all that way, got ready to coach this big football match, and now it's cancelled. So he could have even been on the podcast, but he hasn't made it.
On a serious note, okay, so hard lines, old chap. Enjoy your drive back.
Yeah. Wouldn't happen to anyone else, would it?
No.
Before I got that message, there'll be a little pause in the podcast because we went to get a beer. We got talking when we were in the kitchen about our favourite goals since we started watching, and I said, give it a minute, we'll talk about it in there. These aren't not like your best goals that you've seen, because if it was objectively the best, then Kewell's outside at foot chip against Sheff Wednesday had probably been there, but I hate Harry Kewell, so it's not going in.
No.
So we'll try and come up with 5 apiece.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I know which one I'll start with, because it was, if a striker did it, you'd just say it was a good header, but Paul Robinson against Swindon.
God, yeah.
Big crop that just last minute. I remember I couldn't imagine celebrating a late equaliser against Swindon so much. We should have won that game at 6-0. Mind you, that was the game Cyril Chapuis played, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we were basically a League Two side.
Yeah. But it was a quality goal, but yeah, it shouldn't be as big as it really is. But yeah.
Nah, it's just one of them. That's definitely one of my favourites ever.
Yeah, definitely. One of mine that sticks out, and it's an obvious one to 99% of Leeds fans out there. Your Bows against Liverpool. Absolutely class. It's best goal I've seen since, I don't care how biased it sounds, it's best goal I've seen.
It's one of them. It don't go in my personal favourites because that was before I started going.
You just missed out on the whole your Bowen at his best.
I was like a year. I missed it by about a year.
You see, just when it got headed back to him, just for him to keep it down and just everything about it. I always remember watching it back on telly, and when it panned back to ball, this is about 10-15 seconds after it had done what it had done, and ball was still spinning it back at net. I just thought, oh my God, what a hit. I've seen volleys like it since, and Scholes has hit a few, Shearer's hit a couple like it, but for actual technique and just everything about it, yeah, your ball was 100%. Yeah,
it was a hell of a goal, that one. See, it's like a lot of my favourite ones aren't even that good, but one of them that I genuinely think was that good, Smith's away at Anderlecht.
Yeah, class finish, the chip.
In the forward, the chip, but it was the football before it and the movement. Yeah. The goal against Lazio is bigger. Yeah, that's a bigger goal, but I prefer the Anderlecht goal.
Yeah,
that's the one that if I'm just sat in the office and it's a bit quiet, that I'll end up watching on YouTube 4 times. I just absolutely love that goal, and I was young and naive at that point, so I thought we were always going to play that kind of football. We were always going to be this good. I'd had my shit year under George Graham, and then we started getting good, and I just thought, well, this is it. Yeah, we're going to win league in the next couple of years here. And I love how it makes me feel when I look back and watch it.
You know, man, it's going to sound really pathetic as this, right? I love watching that sort of era back, but God, it's upsetting.
Yeah,
God, it's upsetting. You look back and you think, God, what could have been? But yeah, I suppose it's one of them, innit? But talking of Alan Smith, another one of mine from him. And again, correct me people if I'm wrong, Southampton at Elland Road, got ball into feet, little turn through defenders' legs and just ran through and just placed it to keeper's right-hand side, if I remember it rightly, in front of the Cop. Absolutely class finish. And again, it was just link-up play before it. Yeah, it's one that sticks out for me. It wasn't a particularly big goal. It's just something that always sticks in my mind. When I think of Alan Smith, that's among the sort of things I think of him of.
Yeah, I'll do one more of that era then. One where the technique is entirely wrong. I've never seen many people look as uncomfortable under a dropping ball. But against Partizan Belgrade, when Radaby fell over and did that overhead kick. Because as far as I'm aware, he only scored 2 goals for Leeds.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And there was the one against... There was the overhead kick that was... I mean, it was sit on your arse and throw a leg up. You wouldn't have called it an overhead kick if you were playing heads and volleys.
No, I don't think goalie would have lost a point for that. No. I just think we'd have let it go and just carried on. But
no, because there was that, and was it Ellen Road against Spartak Moscow, header, far post?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That was the other one. If he did score another one, someone tell me on Twitter, because I don't remember if he did. But yeah, the other kick against Partizan, I can remember watching that, and it was brilliant. I mean, it's not one I was actually there for, but I do remember watching it, and it was brilliant.
I remember quite clearly, I was on holiday when it happened, and I was only a teenager myself, and I was sat in a bar with my dad watching it. That is one that'll stick out for me there, definitely. Yeah, Radaby falling on his arse and just flinging a leg at it. Another one that sticks out for me, again, it's just about into your sort of time, is this David Weatherall's diving header against Man United. My God, that was a good goal. I'd gone the previous 2 meetings. There were the Christmas Eve 95 when we beat them 3-1. Best Christmas Eve ever. And also, for all you quiz people out there, the only Premier League game played on Christmas Eve. And the year after, obviously, they beat 4-0. Wilkinson got sacked. So to do that to him again...
Incidentally, that's KC's first game.
God, poor lad. But yeah, I mean, at that point, I thought David Weatherall was genuinely going to go on and be one of the best centre-halves the country's seen. He wasn't bad, but just that goal always sticks out for me. And to do it against Schmeichel as well, it's one that sticks in my head, is that.
David Weatherall's kind of weird in that there's a genuine argument that the biggest goal he ever scored for Leeds United, he scored for Bradford.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. That goal was probably more important.
I'm sure Mark Young, again, good friend at podcast, still agree with us here. They've done us 2 big favours over the years. Got us into Champions League and got Hockaday sacked.
Yeah. Ben, I'll leave it up to you which one's bigger. But 2 more games of Hockaday and that could have broke us.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it is a genuine toss-up, is that?
Mm. Well, I've had 3 now that are from back when we were some good, so I'll have 2 from, well, at least 1 from League One. No, 2 from League One. I know what my next 2 both are. One of us has got to say it, Beckford at Old Trafford.
Yeah. We're possibly the worst first touch ever.
Yeah, the perfect first touch.
Oh yeah, if he'd have brought it down properly, he'd have got tackled.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that one... Oh. You see, I remember having to go into work after that game.
Good God, yeah, you did.
Because I was, I had a few beers and then went straight into office. And
I remember us jumping around in the pub as it were trickling towards line. Roll!
God, I wish I could have been there for that.
Yeah, just everything about it. I think the only result in Cup that's eclipsed that since were Bradford against Chelsea. That is genuinely the only result which I think has eclipsed what we did there.
As big a shock.
Yeah. Another one for me. Mark Viduka against Chelsea. I think, again, please correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was the 01-02 season.
I'm not sure on year, but I know which goal you mean. You mean the one where he made Marcel Desailly look like a little girl?
Yeah, shrugged him off like a child. It was unbelievable. In front at South Stand, ball over, he just flung Desailly to the floor like he were a kid. And Cudicini came out, and I always liked Cudicini. I don't know why. I always liked him, but yeah, he came out and he had all the time in the world. Could have just gone round him, but no, he just nearly took back at net off. Yeah. That was Viduka at his best for me. Well, that just summed up Mark Viduka for me. Strength, footwork, technique. When he were on form, he was untouchable. Mark Viduka.
Yeah. Well, honourable mention goes to the second, third, and fourth goals against Liverpool.
Oh, yeah.
Because I could, if we We'll cap it at 5 because we don't want to go on about it too long.
Yeah, we could be here all night.
Yeah, this is the sort of pub conversation we'd have for 3 hours. But as we've had 4 each, we'll have one more. I'll have Howson, last minute winner against Carlisle, to take us to Wembley.
I'm going to go for a little bit more of a high profile one than the Johnny Howson one, for different reasons. Ian Hart's against Deportivo, the free kick.
Oh, God, the one that he just absolutely battered.
That would just, Again, when I think of Ian Hart, that just instantly springs to mind. I mean, the Howson one, again, huge goal, but both equally as big for completely different reasons. But
the good thing with that one, I was at all the home Champions League games. I mean, there's loads of them. I could have easily put in Boyers against AC Milan.
Boyer against Barcelona.
Boyer against Barca was great. I couldn't put in any at Besiktas ones because even though none of them were that big.
Nah, they weren't spectacular, were they? But I think of it, if we're going to go down notable mentions, God, where would you start? I mean, one that sticks in for me, Hasselbank's debut goal against Arsenal, and he took back at net off. Just, there's loads, isn't there?
Yeah, there's so many, but it's just not worth getting into. It might be something we revisit at some point.
Yeah.
When Casey's back, we might do as objectively best ones. We'll do something like this every week while news is quiet, now transfer window's shut.
Yeah.
But one thing that won't be quiet will be our fans away at Burnley, I would have thought.
That's a cracking link, is that? Good work. It's seamless.
But Burnley away at Carabao Cup. Will Wood and Taylor play? My suspicion is Wood will be on bench and Taylor will play. They've got Sam Vokes as well. He's ex-Leeds. Naki Wells off Huddersfield. Ashley Barnes, whose name we couldn't remember last podcast.
Yep.
But the most important question, I suppose, with Burnley away in the Carabao Cup is, do you care yet?
Not really.
We thought that it might make us care with the stuff over the summer, but no, it hasn't.
Nah. Wood, fair enough. We touched on this on last podcast. Had he not left that pathetic statement out before the Sunderland game, we'd have accepted it. Fair enough. It would always in offing, given what he'd done last season. Fair play to him. He's gone up there. He's scored a couple of goals and all so far. Fair play to him. Taylor threw himself off a bridge as far as I'm concerned. He's a rat. There's no more to be said about it. And, he's gone to the Premier League and he's not getting a game. He's been kept out of the team by Stephen Ward. So, some move. I don't care if it makes me sound bitter, but, if you go to Burnley to sit on bench, it says a lot about what you want out of your career. I think the only way that it'd make me care a little bit about this game is just so we could give him a little bit of stick, just so he had to face the fans.
Yeah.
But other than that, nah. And as for Sam Vokes, it's been quality, but we're talking about a player here who, as far as Leeds fans are concerned, couldn't hit a bad door in League One.
Yeah, like 1 in 10 or something.
Yeah.
The main thing to see what we do with this game is how strong a team would you pick? Bearing in mind we haven't got any centre-backs.
Yeah.
Because there's probably no Cooper. There's almost definitely no Janssen, and I'd be surprised if Pennington's back by Tuesday.
Is Conor Shaughnessy available?
He is. He'll play.
He'd be in. Your Borthwick Jackson's a player. I think Lonergan will get a game.
Yeah.
I think Chibicki may get a run out. We may see a bit of him.
I think he'll start out wide because I think Grot will start up front.
Yeah, Grot. We'll probably get a look at him. I think Click, he may get a game.
I would have thought midfield 2 will be Click and Vieira.
Yeah. And then maybe go with, I don't know, maybe Roof and Dallas, maybe, to start. I don't know. It's a tricky one. With
I wouldn't mind for this game playing Roof at 10.
No.
And playing Dallas and Chibitsky on wings.
Could be a bit of a controversial one. If we don't care about this game, play Adisaka.
If he's fit. Because we still don't know if he's really injured or what's going on.
If he's anywhere near fit, and we genuinely don't care about this competition,
at least have him in squad.
Yeah, have him on bench even more. But if he's available, I'd definitely have him knocking about. So that's what I'd go with. And then if we get through with that squad, fair enough.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they're actually in pretty decent nick as well. I mean, they're not Blackburn out in last round, and since then they drew 1-1 away at Spurs. Chris Wood scored late on. That was that goal that knackered my dad's bet.
Yep.
They beat Palace. That was Wood again, and then they drew away at Anfield yesterday. Scott Arfield, who's had carved out a surprisingly good career compared to what I would have expected when I first saw him years ago.
Yeah, this is a player that got bombed out by Lee Clark at Huddersfield.
Yeah, but in fairness to him, he's done well.
Yeah.
But the thing with this game is, I think they're going to treat it more seriously than we will. And if both teams treated it seriously, they've got a squad that should beat ours, really.
Oh, definitely.
So I'm going to have to be quite negative, and I'm going to say we get beat 3-1.
I think we'll get beat, but I think it'll be 2-1. And I think it'll all be done in 90 minutes as well.
Yeah, for what it's worth, Casey has messaged us predictions because he's missing this one. He's got a 1-1 draw after 90 minutes. He says we'll win on pens, but that doesn't affect the prediction. It's 1-1.
Yeah.
Because I work for bookies, and full-time result is full-time result.
Yep.
But then an actual big important game, Ipswich at home. We've already sold a shitload of tickets because my dad was looking at going now, went on and had a look. There was literally 2 tickets in the West Stand, 3 in the East Stand lower.
Jesus.
And the upper there was plenty available in the East Stand upper.
Yeah.
Nothing at Corp, nothing at South Stand.
No.
So it'll be another 30,000 minimum, and it'll probably be more than that. It'll be a big game because we'll be back to his first choice 11, and they need a big performance after the performance away at Millwall.
Yeah.
They started well, but they're not in the best of nick lately. They did win at weekend, but that's against Bolton, and Bolton aren't much for side.
No.
I work with a Bolton fan, and apparently them against us were one of their better performances at year.
Jesus.
But yeah, they got beat by... But Ipswich got beat by Fulham, got beat by QPR, and then beat Bolton. So...
To be fair, for a club like Ipswich, you look at them results, and it's kind of it's kind of form you'd expect from a side like Ipswich. They've got a decent manager in Mick McCarthy at this level. He knows it inside out.
I like Mick McCarthy.
At this level, especially, he's a good manager. And God, how many years now have Ipswich been in this league?
Yeah.
For the club to consistently stay in this league, be it not going up or not going down, that's some going. Is that? It'll be a tough one, 100%. They've got some decent players. Looking at this, Dominic Iorfa, I know we were linked with, weren't we?
Yeah, that was what, I don't know how true it was, but there was a rumour saying that we wanted him permanent and they'd only let him leave on loan, which is like the opposite of what you'd expect from Leeds United before this season.
They have got some odd ones in there though. When I look through, Tom Adeyemi.
Yeah,
we'll
always have Derby away.
Yeah, there is that. Up front, though, they look a bit interesting. There's goals in McGoldrick and Waghorn, and Freddie Sears is always a threat as well. So
Freddie Sears is one of them nearly men, isn't he? Wasn't it? Yeah. He looked like being really good at one stage, and it just didn't quite happen.
No, he fell down Leeds,
didn't he? It was like him and Junior Stanislas came through the same time, didn't they, at West Ham?
Yeah, like Jack Collison and all that.
Jack Collison, yeah. He was probably the best one at lot.
If he wouldn't have linked with us.
If he wouldn't have had injuries, I mean, he's retired now and he's only about 28. But.
Yeah. But again, you look at that Ipswich squad, it's not a bad team by any means, but I think if we turn up and we play like we have done barring the Millwall game, it's a game we can win. I'd definitely say that. We're going to have to be at his best, 100%, but I fancy us against him, yeah.
Alright, so what score would you go for?
I'm going to go for 2-0 Leeds.
2-0, well...
At home, yeah.
KC's gone 3-0. Because I think Cooper will be back. I don't think Janssen will be, but I think we'll see Cooper and Pennington by that point.
Which isn't a bad
Which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds.
Well,
yeah, 2-0 Leeds. That's what I'm with that. Then the recently put on Sky.
Yeah.
Away at Cardiff. It's going to be an interesting night for my girlfriend because we go to Amsterdam the day before this game. So I've got to try and find a bar that's showing Leeds away at Cardiff on a Champions League night in Amsterdam. I'm sure I'll find one. There'll be one somewhere.
see, if you remember rightly, a year or two ago, we were playing, last season, what am I on about, when we beat Cardiff at their place? Me and you literally watched it in the pub and I got picked up to go on holiday. I had my cases in the pub.
Yeah, you had your suitcases in the pub.
Yep.
But yeah, they had a terrific start under fucking Neil Warnock.
Colin Wanker.
Yeah, Colin Wanker. But they haven't won any of the last 3 games, which... they drew 1-1 with Fulham. I know Fulham are still down there, but they are a good side. They're going to come good.
And the draw with Sheff Wednesday, there's no shame in that, really.
No. They got at Java, it was last minute, wasn't it, with Big Sol Bamba.
Yeah.
And they got beat 3-0 by Preston, but Preston paid a bit surprise package at year.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
They're playing some really good stuff. I'm starting to think that draw we got with them was a better result than we gave ourselves credit for, actually.
Well, I think that's another one. I think Grayson had set some good foundations at Preston.
And it's just been taken on.
Yeah, they've inherited a good team, so yeah.
It's Alex Neil there, isn't it?
Yeah. And again, he's a decent manager up until the last few months at Norwich. Good manager.
Yeah, but I think they've only got 2 ex-Leeds. Well, 3 technically, but 2 that have played first team football. Sol Bamba and Lee Peltier. Sol Bamba I've got a lot of time for.
Yeah.
You know, really tried his bollocks off. Was never that good, but tried hard and worked. Lee Peltier was absolutely god-awful. The fact that he's captained Leeds United makes me sick.
Yeah, that is a bit of a down point, isn't it? Lee Peltier, though, should have been great. If we'd have got the Lee Peltier that would at Huddersfield and not from Leicester, we'd have got a right signing there. But I'm with you on Sol Bamba. It came in at a time where we weren't great. You know, we were looking at Belushi back, and he came in, he did a job, but he was one of them. He just got caught up in a time where we invested a little bit of money and we signed better players. Simple as that. I wish no ill towards Sol Bamba at all, and he's doing a good job for Cardiff, so fair play to him.
Yeah, they've also got Danny Ward, who was released by Leeds as a kid, which is why he always plays decent against us.
He's the lad who would have rather him into had a couple of good games against us.
Yeah, but I do always forget which one's Danny Ward and which one's Jamie Ward.
Jamie Ward's the one from Forest, I believe.
Forest and Derby.
Yeah, we're on loan at Burton. He's played for them all now.
Yeah.
He's played for all Nottinghamshire clubs now.
Yeah, but
Notts County.
They've got Aaron Gunnarsson in midfield. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Junior Hoylett, if they get his head right, is a good player.
Yeah.
And they've got that Kenneth Zari up front, who I haven't really seen that much of. To be honest, it's kind of weird. I don't really see much of Cardiff because they don't get televised that much, and when they do, I must not be in.
It's not only that. I think it's a little bit of the Chris Wood effect. They signed him last season, didn't they? And he was awful. Bit like Chris Wood.
It wasn't awful, but he wasn't at his best. And they turned down definitely like bids at sort of 10, 12 million. And there's rumours in Denmark, which is because he's Danish, saying that they might have turned down a bid from Brighton that was like 17 million all in. That won't have all been up front, obviously, but still.
It's a lot of money for Cardiff. It's a lot of money for any championship team to turn down.
Yeah, so it must be some good. But away on telly, last season, we've actually, having gone didn't we go 30 years without winning away at Cardiff? And then we've won the last 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Because we won last year 2-0.
Yeah, Hernandez scored that screamer,
Yeah, Wood
didn't he?
penalty and that Hernandez curler into top right corner.
Yeah.
We had one where Antonucci scored one at break, didn't he?
That's right, yeah.
Which was, I think that was 2-0 as well, but I'm not sure. But I think we've either won 2 of his last 3 or his last 3, having not won there for years and years.
I mean, granted, Cardiff, when they came back down for the Premier League, weren't great for a few years, but I think this is another toughie.
No, but Colin will have them well up for this.
Oh, definitely.
He'll definitely have them well up for this. But the thing is, as much as I have a lot of time for Bamba and he works hard, I don't see Bamba defending well against any of our attackers.
No.
So
they'll all get stuck in and rough them up and get in amongst them.
I don't see us scoring fewer than 2.
No.
Which means I can't see us losing. But I think they'll be well up for it. I'm going to say 2-2.
I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds because I do think they'll score. But I think, like you said, with Bamba at back, I think our attackers can bully him. And I think if, as midfielders, run at him, he'll struggle. So, 2-1 Leeds. Yeah,
just checking my phone. KC was a 1-0 win for us away at Cardiff. Yeah. And then the final game, Sheff Wednesday away, 1st of October, last game before international break. They're starting to come into a bit of nick. Beat Forest 3-1, beat Brentford 2-1. The draw against Cardiff that we mentioned before. Up front, they've got Jordan Rhodes, Ade Nuhiu, Gary Hooper, Stephen Fletcher, Lucas João, Marco Matthias, who scored that screamer at Ellen Road. Forestieri, if they choose to use him as a striker. George Boyd, if they choose to use him up front.
Yeah.
And Sam Wynn all out on loan. So they've got a couple of strikers in squad.
Yeah. Yeah, just a few.
It's what you would normally get from Harry Redknapp.
Yeah, on deadline day.
Yeah. But yeah, this will be a really tough game. I had a look at their squad today. It's not just all of them strikers. Like Barry Bannon's a good midfielder at this level.
Yeah.
They've got that Sam Hutchinson that can play in defence or in midfield.
I hate Sam Hutchinson. He's such an arse. Good player, but God, he's
I'll tell
an
you
arse.
what, depending on what the odds are, if they're offering a decent price, the bet of the game is Sam Hutchinson to get booked.
No, yeah.
To receive a card, he's just absolutely mental for it.
Alman Abdi's a good player.
Yeah, Alman Abdi's good. Jacob Butterfield, I mean, he went to Derby for $6 million 2 years ago.
Yeah, he went when they signed Brothers, didn't he?
Yeah, him and Bradley Johnson on the same day for like 10-11 million quid. Good keeper, Kieran Westwood.
I wanted us to sign him when we were linked with him all them years ago. Yeah,
he's a good keeper. They've got Tom Lees at back, who
Warnock fucking took out and tore to pieces and destroyed.
Yeah, who I still think could be in Premier League now if it weren't for Neil Warnock. Fucking arsehole he is. But this will be really tough. It always is away at Wednesday. I mean, we won there last year.
Yeah, Antonsen scored, didn't he? Yeah.
Hadi Sacco with his perfectly calm, measured cross to Antonsen.
God, it's not often we'll say that.
No, but it did. It did happen. One bet. Was it 2-0 or 2-1? It was him and Wood.
It was 2-0.
Antonsen and Wood with goals, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Woods was that near post flick on into corner. But this will be another tough one. These, I mean, we've got 6 points from the other three games we've just had, which is probably the minimum acceptable amount. This game, I mean, the cup game's a cup game. I'm not bothered about that. Ipswich at home, Cardiff away, Wednesday away. I'd snap your hand off for 5.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
2 draws and a win, or 2 wins and a defeat. I'd be fine with either. But if you give me 5 points now, I'd take it.
Yeah, if we come out of them 3 unbeaten. Yeah, definitely.
But I'm going to be honest, I think we get beat at Wednesday.
I'm going to throw one out there and I'm going to predict the first defeat of the season for me. I'm going to say we're going to get beat 2-0.
You're saying 2-0. I'm going to say we'll get beat 2-1.
Yep.
And God, I hope we're wrong, because KC's got 1-0 Wednesday. It's just one of them games.
They're a good team. I know.
And I don't want any points.
No. No.
I will still have a bet on 3-1 Leeds, as I always do, but I just don't see it.
I think any Leeds fan that's, takes off the rose-tinted glasses when you look at us, you look at the money Chef Wednesday have spent just on Jordan Rhodes alone. Jordan
Rhodes and Stephen Fletcher's on like 40 grand a week. And
yeah, I mean, you dare say and all that, like you look at George Boyd and...
he'll be on a lot of money.
Forestieri and Alman Abdi, they've come, Alman Abdi's come back down from Premier League. He'll be on a good wage for Championship, Alman Abdi. They're a good team, whether people like it or not, they are. They've been there or thereabouts now for the last few years, and I just think we'll come unstuck there.
Yeah, well, hopefully we're wrong. The good thing, the problem with that game is, of course, that it's a couple of weeks away. Yeah. We could have 2 shocking performances or 2 great performances before that, which would change how we feel. But that's the nature of the beast. But this will probably have been a slightly shorter pod than normal, but there's less news now. Transfer window's shut. But thanks for listening to Mike White's podcast. For one, I do have a favour to ask. I asked you to let people know and stuff about it, and you did. It was the most listened to episode we've ever had. So thanks a lot for that. If you happen to be one of the people who listens through iTunes, if you could leave a review, and I don't care if you think we're a 3-star podcast, just make it 5, it doesn't affect you. But apparently that helps it go into people's suggestions and stuff if we get stuff like that, so you may as well, it'll only take you 20 seconds. But yeah, thanks very much for listening to the Mighty Whites podcast. We're at Mighty Whites Pod on Twitter. Various things we write will go up on through it all together, which is at THIU, it's all LUFC. We'll write in a few more opinion pieces and stuff, and we'll also be writing stuff that goes up on our website, mightywhitespodcast.com. I know KC started doing his series on the summer transfer windows that we've had and stuff. That started like last week and they're quite good, so go give them a read. But thanks for listening. I've been Jack.
I've been Chris, thank you.
Yeah, KC hasn't been here because, we don't really care about him and he's not important.
That and he's probably driving somewhere down some dark road somewhere, so yeah.
Is that a metaphor for his life?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Hopefully he'll be in a better mood and actually show up for the next one. Thanks a lot for listening. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.